Cosplaying today is something widespread enough that many have made a career out of it, but it wasn't always this way. Not until the late 2010s when a legendary cosplayer, Enako, changed the entire industry in Japan. Enako was the first one in history to explicitly show the entire nation to a mainstream audience that cosplaying can be your job. But behind the flashy popularity were a plethora of problems, and if it wasn't for the actions of multiple fans, she, and possibly the cosplay industry, would not be here today. Enako was born in 1994 in the Nagoya prefecture, and she used to be the sporty kid until she was betrayed in middle school. See, there was this guy that she liked, and she wanted to give a love letter to him to confess, so she entrusted this letter to her best friend to give to the guy because she was shy, but found out a few days later that her best friend and the guy started dating. This was how she spiraled into otome game, dating sims for girls. She legitimately fell in love with the anime guys, and there was no going back. She became immersed in otaku culture. Soon, a friend first introduced cosplaying to her, and she loved it. Enako would start dressing up in her own room, and it was fun. But her mother did not exactly approve. This was a time when otakus were quite looked down upon, at least much more than today, and cosplay outside of the anime sphere was this niche for weirdos. Enako's mom explicitly called her cosplaying disgusting to her, and even sometimes threw out her anime figures and merch. Enako called this traumatizing, and her relationship with her mother at the time turned very sour. Regardless, Enako persisted, and when she became old enough in high school, at 16 years old, finally managed to travel across the country to Tokyo to attend Japan's largest doujinshi fair, Comiket. This was the major turning point in her life. She didn't have a following, she was literally a random high school girl cosplaying at a big event. But as she appeared in cosplay, crowds of photographers swarmed to capture her costumes, and when those photos were posted online, word spread about this drop-dead gorgeous cosplayer. Enako went viral, and many were waiting to see her again at the next event. Isn't this the plot to 2.5D seduction? Whatever. Enako dedicated her high school life to cosplay. It wasn't all roses. She had to get used to hate comments, people calling her ugly, baseless rumors, and she was quite hurt, but still persisted. At 18 years old, with two other girls, Enako formed a cosplay idol group, Panache. It went pretty good. They've released a few songs, did a few live concerts, and were even invited to perform at a doujin event in China. But this group was short-lived and disbanded only after half a year because one of the members got a traditional office job. This left Enako at a crossroads. See, this was the time she was also just getting into uni and wasn't sure about cosplay. It was tiring to be in the spotlight, but more importantly, being a professional cosplayer just wasn't really a thing back then. It was just a hobby for otaku. It was quite literally unheard of to turn it into your job. That's why Enako decided to step away from cosplay entirely, live life as a normal uni student, and pursue a conventional career. For her otaku side, she actually worked part-time at a maid cafe. Normally, this is where the tale would end, but Enako had one dedicated fan base. In her student years, fans online were constantly asking for her return, relentlessly. It got to the point where people from Tokyo would frequently travel to Nagoya to go to the maid cafe she was working at and keep asking her, "You wanna come back to cosplaying anytime? These fans' passion over time really got to Enako, and 1.5 years later, Enako wanted to answer her fans' pleas and announce her return to cosplay. But this time, it was different. She aimed high. She set out to build a career out of cosplaying, something that basically did not exist at the time. As she started, it was like her high school momentum had never died. Her photos got featured at exhibitions, she rapidly got offers to cosplay official characters for game companies, and she even expanded to voice acting, starting with some mobile game roles. Then she even expanded to gravure, swimsuit modeling, with an offer at one of the biggest gravure magazines, Weekly Young Jump. A cosplayer in a mono magazine was already a step up for this profession, and 2 months later, she would already be on the cover of this magazine. Quite literally, the fastest in history to go from debut to magazine cover. In 2016, only a year after returning, she was already making 1 million yen a month, but the rise would just not stop. She won countless rewards about cosplay, modeling, blogging, everything. She eventually even expanded to host her own radio, and then in 2018, she started writing in a monthly serialized fashion magazine. Bis, she writes too! How many jobs do you want? She just did things and it would just somehow work. In that same year, Enako organized her first charity cosplay photo shoot, raising 2.68 million yen for victims of that year's floods and earthquakes throughout Japan. By the end of 2018, Enako was nearing millions in followers, unheard of for cosplayers, and was without a doubt the #1 cosplayer in Japan. But let me tell you, this woman is crazy. She doesn't stop. 2019 marked an important year as Enako joined the agency PP Enterprise. I'm not making this name up. Founded by Enako's longtime friend and manager, Yoko Inui, Yoko had one goal: to showcase to the world that it was possible to turn cosplay into a legitimate career, that it was a legitimate profession in the entertainment industry. Meanwhile, Enako started her 10 billionth career, entrepreneurship. She launched her own cosplay-inspired fashion and costume brand called Parlamagi, where she produced outfits and cosplay costumes. This was genius! Fans would kill to wear Enako-produced costumes. At this point, Enako was already getting recognition at a national level. She was constantly on national TV, and in 2020, she was appointed as an official Cool Japan ambassador by the Cabinet Office of the Japanese government. A cosplayer had become a government-approved ambassador. I think that says something about the profession. She started her YouTube channel about cosplay, which obviously blew the hell up. And then, she actually announced that she was dating pro esports gamer Kenki. Damn, she got past her middle school trauma. This was surprising, as people in this field generally hide their relationships. But they said they wanted to make it transparent to avoid weird rumors. And honestly, it was received pretty well. Most fans were supportive, probably cause she wasn't a traditional idol. Money-wise, Enako and Yoko actually publicly disclose how much she makes every year, which is, again, very rare in entertainment in Japan. How much was she making? Well, over 100 million yen, or about 1 million USD per year back then, and still increasing yearly. And amongst this, Comiket was particularly money-making. So many people wanted to buy her photo DVDs and albums that she would gross, again, 100 million yen, or 1 million USD in the 2 days of Comiket. 2 days! This isn't taking into account all the production costs, but still! Yoko said the reason they wanted to expose Enako's income was for the field of cosplaying. It was a message to the world. Look, this is how much a top cosplayer can make in the entertainment industry. This industry, this profession, is just as valuable as other entertainers. She wanted the mass public, mass media, the world to accept cosplay as a possible career path, and nothing makes the case clearer than big, undeniable numbers. This really inspired younger cosplayers. It shows them that, yeah, it's possible, you can do it. I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that Enako made half this industry and is the reason cosplay can be so widespread and accepted today. She's the reason there's so much money in this industry too. However, behind all this success, behind being a pioneer, Enako still faced many problems, particularly online hate. Some people, particularly other cosplayers, hated the fact that she did gravure, then became so big. They were scared that the general public would think cosplayers are just results. This negatively affected Enako quite a bit, especially because she herself loved cosplay. Their goal at the agency was literally to push cosplay as a profession. Enako really got a lot of hate, and she admitted that it upsets me so much I feel like quitting cosplay every 6 months. But despite this, she was competitive and wanted to shut the haters up by being number 1. Over the past few years, Enako has somehow established an even bigger name for herself. She's been the ambassador of livestream platforms, the Tokyo Esports Festa, made her own idol group called PPE41. Nah, there is no way she doesn't know what she's doing. That name is diabolical. Which was supposed to be an April Fool's joke that turned out so popular, they actually started releasing songs and even performed at the Tokyo Idol Festival. She was constantly on TV programs, won so many awards in so many fields that I'm not reading them all. She started Twitch streaming. She rented out an entire water park to bring a bunch of cosplayers together for a big swimsuit shoot. And finally, in 2025, the big role came. She appeared as a guest runway model at the Tokyo Girls Collection 2025 Spring/Summer Show, a prestigious fashion event. Keep in mind, this was a fashion show for top models, actresses, and Enako was a part of it. Enako was no longer just a cosplayer. She could be called the pioneer of this entire industry in the business sense. And to be honest, I don't know if there's any Japanese cosplayer even close to her popularity. But all of this is what I meant by turning cosplay into a legitimate career option. She showed that cosplay can make money. Cosplayers can reach this level of fame. Cosplayers can appear on TV as celebrities, can walk beside models and actresses as equals. That cosplay is a legitimate profession. That is the message Enako had cemented into Japan, and to think she would have been another Excel monkey if it wasn't for her fans dragging her back. Amazingly, her mother over time actually came to understand and accept cosplay, and today, she actually helps Enako with making her costumes, the two reconciling their relationship. Moral of the story? If your Asian parent disapproves of your hobby, just make a shit ton of money. They'll accept your hobby, I promise. Special thanks to Vicente Pagani and all my other patrons and members for supporting the channel.